Welcome to ChatGPT 101. Now, most of the content today is going to be from OpenAI, but before I hand it over to some phenomenal content that they produced earlier this year, I want to give you a quick preview. You are going to get 20 different tips on how to use ChatGPT more effectively. We'll have a 102 series that will go even deeper. I'll come back at the end because one of the key things they show is how to save memory, which can be really effective. But as you saw from the earlier session, the context given to the prompt controls the AI's performance. And so we're going to spend an extra moment talking about temporary chat and making sure you know how to use that feature. That will be the 20th item that you'll cover off in today's session. Let me also call attention to this table by department for how you can apply ChatGPT in various industries or functional areas of business. There's 10 different areas that have been called out here. And of course, better prompts yield better results. So this series will go into more content to prompts, as well as a broader look at Google's Gemini and NotebookLM, Anthropic's Claude, Adobe's Firefly, and some other tools that are available to you. Now let me hand it over to OpenAI.
Let's take a moment to talk about why ChatGPT is so useful at work. You can think of it like a super teammate, one that never gets tired, has a vast knowledge base, and can help you write, research, plan, analyze data, and a lot more. It's a smart, adaptable assistant ready to jump in at almost any task you throw it in. In this session, I'll be using GPT-5, our flagship model and the most capable one yet, released in August 2025. It's a subject matter expert excelling at writing, research, analysis, and problem solving, and it adapts its approach to your request to deliver faster, more accurate, and more relevant results. With your ChatGPT Enterprise account, your work stays secure with privacy protections and admin controls set by your organization. You have your own account within your own company's workspace. As I share my screen, one quick note, your ChatGPT might look a little different from mine, and that's normal. Some features depend on your organization's settings, so if you don't see something right away, that could be why. All right, I'll get ready to share my screen, and we can jump into our first demo. So first, I want to quickly orient you to the sidebar on the left-hand side of the screen. Think of this as your home base within ChatGPT. It's where all your chats live and where you can move between different tools and different views. And again, your experience might look a little different than mine. As you can see at the top over here, you've got the ability to create a new chat. It's a good habit to click that whenever you start a new task. That gives ChatGPT a fresh context, so your results are more focused. And right before that, you'll also see the search chats. It's super handy when you're trying to find something from earlier without scrolling for too long. And then you'll see sections over here like GPTs. These are custom or pre-built assistants that you can use. Then you'll also see new project. So projects are where you group related chats, files, and instructions. So they all share the same context. We'll dive into both GPTs and projects during the ChatGPT 102 session. And under all of that, as you'll notice later today, you'll find your chats over here, with the most recent being at the top. You can click into any of them to pick up right where you left off. All right, now that you know your way around, let's run our first prompt together. We're already in a new chat, and we're going to start with something that we all deal with. Messy meeting notes. Let's say you just got out of a meeting and jotted something down like this. These are useful notes, but not exactly shareable. Let's add in a prompt. Turn these meeting notes into a clear, concise email for my team. Include a friendly greeting, the key decisions we made, and 3 clear action items. And there you go. ChatGPT has transformed our rough notes into a professional, well-structured email. It's complete with a greeting, with a summary, clear next steps, And there's also a button over here to copy your output. This is an example of what I would call a quick win. It takes a task that you do all the time and it makes it faster, it makes it more consistent and high quality. Now, let's try something more personal to you and your work. I'll go ahead and start a new chat. I'm going to run a prompt that works for any role, and I'd encourage you to try this yourself while I demo it. Let me go ahead and paste the prompt that you've got, and I will run with finance at OpenAI. So the prompt is, I work in finance at OpenAI. Please give me 5 ways I could use ChatGPT at work with example prompts for each. What we're getting back is a set of tailored ideas for your role, plus ready-to-use prompts. So depending on what you do, this might include help with project planning, with content creation, customer insights, data analysis, the list goes on. This is a great way to start building your own ChatGPT playbook, discovering prompts that you can come back to again and again. Now that you've seen a quick win and some ideas tailored to your role, let's take things a step further. This next part is about getting more out of ChatGPT using the kinds of materials that you already work with every day. Think about things like meeting notes, files, reports, and data. So to get the best results from ChatGPT, it helps to give clear instructions. And that comes down to how you write your prompt. And a prompt is just what you type into the chat, your request, your question, or your task. But the more clearly that you describe your goal, your audience, or your preferred format, the more relevant and the more useful the output will actually be. So you'll see this in action throughout our session today, but let's take a simple example now and talk it through. Instead of writing, summarize this article, a stronger prompt would be, I'm preparing a presentation for our leadership team. Summarize this article with a focus on key trends and statistics and highlight any recommendations that could apply to our company strategy. With that kind of nuanced, more expanded prompt, your response is likely to be much more relevant. So you can have the same content, but a better prompt will yield a better result. All right, so I've opened up a new chat here, and ChatGPT isn't just for typing, right? You can upload files and work with them directly into in a conversation. Let's say I've got a PDF file of an onboarding guide, and I want to quickly understand what's in there without reading the whole thing. I'll go ahead and attach a document here. I've got the employee onboarding guide, and let me go ahead and paste in this prompt I've got. Summarize this document in 5 bullet points. In just a few seconds, ChatGPT pulls out the highlights. This is a really fast way to digest long documents, right? So this could be perfect for internal guides, for reports, for training materials. And let's say that I'm using this as part of a new hire experience, and I want to tailor the prompt a bit more. So the prompt I'm going to put in here is, I'm creating a getting started guide for new employees. Summarize this document now with a focus on what someone would need to know in their first week and suggest 3 tips that they could apply right away. So this output is now more specific. It's reframed with the new employee in mind and includes practical tips. So uploading a file and providing a clear prompt is one of the most effective ways to extract the information that's actually most relevant to your goals. ChatGPT can also help you work with spreadsheets. including Excel or CSV files, and even generates charts directly in the chat. Let's say I've got a CSV file with customer survey results and that I want to understand the key takeaways. I will ask ChatGPT, analyze this file and tell me the top 3 trends in customer feedback. ChatGPT is now scanning the data and highlighting the main themes like satisfaction scores, product issues, feature requests. And you can see over here that it was saying analyzing, and that's showing the Python code if we had clicked that. And if I want to actually prepare a slide deck and visualize the results, I could ask ChatGPT to provide that as well in a certain manner. You can see over here that it actually responded back in the similar format of saying, here are the top 3 feedback trends. The first being ease of use and user experience, customer support and issues, and performance and reliability. So now if I want to visualize this data, I could say, using this data, create and show a bar chart of average satisfaction scores by product category, add data labels, and add a short caption explaining the insight. So now ChatGPT is returning a clean and ready to use summary, and I could drop this directly into a presentation. And this happened all without opening Excel, without building a pivot table, or without formatting anything manually. So think of this as a fast, flexible way of using ChatGPT to go from raw data to clear insight. And with this case, we've got a visual that's ready to share. So far, we've worked with text, files, and data. Now, let's explore how ChatGPT can help you work with live web content and visual information like screenshots, photos, or even hand-drawn sketches. So let's first up go with search. This tool lets ChatGPT browse the internet in real time, pull information sources, and even show you exactly where it found the answer, so you can dig deeper or even verify. Let's imagine I'm helping plan an offsite for our team, and I need to find a venue. Without ChatGPT, that might mean clicking through a bunch of websites, copying details in a doc, comparing features, pricing, logistics, and maybe even getting distracted by menus along the way. I'll show you how ChatGPT can streamline this whole process. The prompt I'll go ahead and put in here is to find 5 conference venues in Chicago that can hold 200 people, have AV capabilities, provide catering, and are near public transportation. Include pricing information available and cite your sources. To use search, ChatGPT will likely understand that this is a prompt that requires search capability, but I want to show you here, we'll talk about it later, but you can enable search by going to the plus button here and clicking on web search, or using backslash, you'll be able to call on search or any of the other tools that you've got access to as well. So I could do backslash search, and there we go. I'll go ahead and submit this prompt. ChatGPT has pulled information from the web, and it's giving me a clean, organized list with venue names. We've got some location details and a lot more, including the capacity, the AV and catering, the location and transit, even some details on pricing, directions, website, the ability to find the phone number as well. And you'll notice here is that every item is including a clickable source. So I can hover over to preview the site, or I can click on it directly to verify its accuracy. Also, if you scroll down here, you'll see sources. And this will open up citations in a sidebar here on the right. So again, ChatGPT often knows to search the web, but you can manually have clicked the plus button or do backslash to find the tools. This kind of real-time research is helpful for a ton of different tasks. Some that come to mind are event planning, competitive research, assisting with looking up regulations or compliance updates, finding vendors or suppliers or service providers, and so much more. Next up, vision. ChatGPT's ability to understand and work with images. This can be a huge time saver if you're working with screenshots, with diagrams, with charts, whiteboards, mock-ups, even photos of handwritten notes. Instead of having to describe what's in an image, you can just upload it and ask ChatGPT to analyze it for you. Let me show you how that works. Let's say that I've sketched a rough layout for a new web page and got it jotted down, and I want to get some quick feedback before I send it to a designer. Go ahead and attach that here. So let me paste in a prompt that I've prepared. I'm attaching a web page mockup. Can you analyze this image and describe the layout, the key elements, and any usability improvements you'd suggest? ChatGPT scans the image. It identifies the sections like the hero banner, the navigation bar, content blocks, even the footer, and it's offering suggestions here. It might point out missing accessibility issues or ways to improve the visual hierarchy, the hero banner optimization, mobile responsiveness, enhancing the footer. This same approach can work great for reviewing mockups, for catching gaps in a diagram, or even getting quick feedback from a whiteboard brainstorm. Now, here's a different use case. Imagine someone sends you a photo of meeting notes or a document, but it's written in another language. I will go ahead and upload an example of that. So here we've got a whiteboarding session done in Korean. So I will ask ChatGPT, translate the text in this image to English, keeping all bullet points and formatting intact. In just a few seconds, ChatGPT is giving you a clean, formatted English version of the original image. This is ready to share, ready to read, or ready to drop into a doc. This can be especially helpful for things like translating supplier documents, for reading signs or forms or labels in another language, and even for collaborating with international teams. With Vision, you can instantly extract and work with information from images, whether it's photos of a meeting note, a rough sketch of a layout, or even a document that's written in another language. Let's go back to the web sketch from earlier. I went over here and be able to access my former chats. Now let's say maybe I want to turn this into a clean digital mockup that's easy to share with the team. I'm going to go ahead and run this prompt to turn the sketch into a clean professional website mockup image. To ensure that image generation is on, by the way, you can go to the plus button over here and you'll see the tools and you can click create image, or you could do \image, and you'll also see some options for different styles to choose from. While our image is generating, imagine ways that you could use this. Some are like creating concept art for a new product, mocking up an event flyer, visualizing a design for a presentation, exploring branding ideas and styles, icons for a slide deck, or even fun images to share with your team. And another prompt that we could run that we could show later on once it's done generating is to design a clean minimal icon set for a mobile app in the finance industry, since we mentioned that idea of exploring branding ideas and styles and even icons for a slide deck. So while these load, we can move forward and explore a little bit more about making ChatGPT work the way that you work. And we can go to explore our sidebar and customize some of our settings if you haven't done so already. But while we've got this up, perhaps we can wait and let the image produce. There we have it. We've got our icon library. You can even download this over here, the image that it actually created. And one thing to note about image generation is that it's non-deterministic, which means that the same prompt could give you a different result each time. That's intentional, and sometimes I'll even run the same prompt a few times and choose my favorite version. We just got a push notification here that our mockup is also done for the web page. There we go. We've now got our website mockup. You can see it took my very rough sketch and it turned it into something polished and presentable. This is great for sharing early ideas, getting feedback, and just saving time. So on the left over here, now that we've run a few chats, you'll notice that we've got our chat history here. So you can revisit your previous conversations as we have. Right above that, again, we've got our projects, and then we've got our GPTs. And by the way, you'll notice that I've pinned a GPT here. Uh, these are custom assistants, again, and you can create them. We'll go through it during our 102, but you can pin them here as well to your sidebar. So let's go to our settings. This will be either on the bottom left or the top right of your screen. You will see your account icon. We can click here and we can actually customize ChatGPT. For what do you do? An example here that I might write is, I'm on the go-to-market team at OpenAI. For anything else that ChatGPT should know, I can say I prefer concise, action-oriented responses in sentence format, and I use the Oxford comma. I'll go ahead and press save. And now going back to your account icon, we can click here and go to settings. Then under personalization, you'll see memory. Memory lets ChatGPT remember facts that you've shared, like your name, preferences, or ongoing projects that you're working on. So you don't have to keep on repeating them, and you can manage your memories here. Let's go ahead and try it. I'll go ahead and put in, I live in London. So if you want to ensure that memory is actually updating, it often will remember anyways. But if you want to be sure that it goes to your memories, you could say add to memory and say, I live in London. And you'll see that memory updated has popped up. So if you don't see it as an example as we did above, where it didn't automatically update the memory within saved memories, you can be specific and tell it to add to your memory. And now if you go to hover over here, it'll take you back to manage as well. And you can see the memories that you've got as well as delete and edit what you've got here.
All right, let's look at what happens if you don't want to use memory. First of all, you could create a temporary chat and you'll find the button right up here and you'll see this shift to temporary chat. Any context you give it here then is only using what's in this box and what you've provided, and it's not relying on your memory. Now, as noted, you could go to the preference sections and turn off your memory and make other changes and adjustments, which you can do from going to the settings here. Now back to OpenAI to bring us home.
Now that you know how to personalize your ChatGPT, let's open a new chat and explore the tools available inside. Going back to the plus button over here in a chat, depending on what your organization has enabled, you might see connectors, deep research, create image, web search, Canvas, again, the ability to add files. Web search over here is for live web browsing. Create images is for generating visuals. Deep research is for long-form cited research. We'll cover that in our 102. Use connectors to pull content from tools, also something we'll cover in the 102. And Canvas to co-write or code with real-time feedback, also in the 102. So again, if you don't see all of this, that's expected as your organization can customize what's available to you. One last feature before we wrap up, and this is one of my favorites. You don't always have to type. You can go ahead and click the mic and start talking, and ChatGPT will transcribe and run your request instantly. It's perfect for when you're thinking out loud, if you're on the go, or if just speaking is your preferred style. Let's go ahead and try it out together. Hey, ChatGPT, I work at OpenAI. Give me 5 creative ways to announce a new product launch to our customers. There we have it. I use this all the time. It's powered by our state-of-the-art speech to text, so you can speak naturally and have ChatGPT respond instantly. That brings us to the end of ChatGPT for Work 101. Today we've covered quick wins that to start using ChatGPT right away. We've also talked about how to work with files, with text, and with data. We've also discussed live web search, image understanding, and image generation, as well as customization tools and prompting strategies. You'll receive the recording tomorrow, along with the full list of prompts that we used today. In the next session, ChatGPT 102, we'll go deeper into deep research, into ChatGPT voice, connectors, projects, and even building your own GPTs. I hope you're leaving this 101 session with ideas, with confidence, and at least one prompt that you're excited to try today. If you have a moment, we'd love your feedback in the survey. Thanks again for being here, and here's to unlocking new ways of working with ChatGPT, and have a great day.